But are we live? We are live. What's going on, everybody? Strategy show, Saturday edition. Don't adjust those dials. Myself, Jake Hari here to break down everything from a baseball perspective for this lovely Saturday. I have not done a Saturday show in a long time, man. What's going on?
Yeah, well, you just did one a couple weeks ago.
Did I?
You killed it for me, yeah. But
In the morning?
yeah,
Oh,
you
dude, my
killed it.
memory is garbage. I do remember that now.
Yeah, yeah. I was at the Osmo headquarters, and you filled in for me. But yeah, you haven't done too many. That's for sure. I see Llama's in chat. Whoa, what's going on, Llama? Yeah, man, this is a good day for baseball. You're playing some EPL. I mean, I tried to play, but didn't upload my CSV. So if you played today, you're welcome for paying the rake. Gonna get it back playing some MLB today.
Dude, I have baseball, soccer, golf, and MMA contests live right now. Going to be a big Saturday for me.
Yeah, dude, this is some fun stuff. So
most I've played of anything in a while.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll be grinding college football too, right? When that starts.
I will not play a single college football contest.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be getting into that, but NFL for sure.
I'm going to pass there. All right, let's hit the plugs for now. MLB Strategy is the promo code. 50% off your first month of Awesemo Plus. Any monthly package you choose, even packages that include Fantasy Cruncher. So all you have to do, enter the promo code MLB Strategy while checking out, and you get 50% off. Can't beat it. We are also brought to you during strategy shows by Yahoo Sports. I'm going to drop Emacs Spotlight Hitters article into YouTube chat right now. If you want to get a little bit more information on signing up at Yahoo, check out the top of that article, including the promo code AWESEMO, where you can get up to $30 in Yahoo Sports rewards points. Yahoo's running their no management fee contest every day, 10 max entries, so you're not competing with 150 lineups. It's the place that you should be starting every day. We say it every day. It doesn't change. It's going to be the best for the casual player. So I highly recommend playing at Yahoo. I've been starting these shows off a lot looking at lineup study, and I feel like every time I do this with Adam, it's the same story, and today is no different. Yesterday, the 250K hidden ball trick, 50K to first, once again, won by a single bullet. It's over and over and over again. Second place, a single bullet. Fourth place, also a single bullet. Craziness. It's craziness.
I feel the exact opposite. I feel like it's always won by Alex.
Well, yeah, it's either Alex or a single bullet. Seriously, there have been so many times lately where I start the show with Adam and it's a single bullet, including Friday morning.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, but very unlikely.
It's a very obvious Cal Quantrill Wade Miley combo yesterday, taking it home.
I liked Quantrill. And we had him projected pretty highly, but didn't go like super crazy on him. So yeah, single bullet. Wow, can't imagine. Like I always wonder what these people think. Like, do you think they just like put in a lineup? And
I bet they put that lineup in a few contests.
Okay, so
like let's see. Just click. I'm in this, and this.
Or if it like, did he set it like 3 hours before lock and just look back at his phone and be like, oh, I had a DraftKings lineup and see I won 50K? Or do you think they're just like sweating it? I've never ran that good before. I've ran very good on some slates in my day, but not quite that good. Single bullet in a 27,000 entry tournament.
Put 150 bullets into the mini-max every day and still can't do it.
Yeah. It's tough. So when it happens, it's kind of frustrating, but yeah.
Shout out to RYA1125 for going ahead and hitting another single bullet for $50,000.
I'm looking to see if this person put it in any other tournaments. I don't see like none in the 66, maybe some lower dollar stuff. What was it? RYA?
RYA 1125.
No. So I looked at least on DraftKings. Only tournament I just searched by the winner and it goes alphabetically. Only put it in the 11.
I mean,
There you
I guess
go.
that's fine. I'm sure he's not mad that he just made 50 grand.
Oh no, I'm sure that's a pretty decent ROI.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it's gonna be like when someone banks the millie with one entry. That happens every once in a while.
I can't even think about something like that.
Yeah,
The frustration is real on that one.
yeah, it's frustrating when you're playing 150 and playing the right way, and then someone takes it down with one. But good for that guy.
Okay, so we're gonna hit the early, go over it a little bit, and then tackle the late. At 11:30, I'm going to have to toss this to Jake for like 5 minutes to update soccer projections for the Tottenham lineups. Hopefully, I don't have to change anything, but at the very least, that's going to have to happen a little bit. But let's just dive in if you're ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty. First game up on the early. Blue Jays and Yankees. 5-run implied total for the Jays, 6 for the Yankees, 59% chance to win for New York. Jacob Wagg's back going for the Jays. Chad Green as the opener, maybe Nestor Cortez. Doesn't seem like anybody's going to be getting any sort of volume as a starter. Have you seen anything else for the Yanks?
Could be Cortez. I'm seeing Fangraphs having him listed in the probable starters, so I would imagine he's going to get some run here.
He
but
threw 3 days ago, so it's not going to be anything substantial.
Yeah, I think you're looking at probably 2 to 4 innings at very most. I'd say more like 2 1/3 to 3.
Yeah, same page. Neither guy. No ownership coming to the pitching in this game. Could you imagine getting Cortez or Wags back? Or Chad Green, I guess.
What's that?
Or Chad Green, I guess.
Green's only going to go, I think, an inning, maybe 2. I think I might get to Cortez. What's his price at? You know?
I don't know. I can pull it up.
Here,
the only reason I asked about Green is because he's essentially the minimum. Cortez is 5,500 on FanDuel, which should be obvious, and 4K.
Okay. So if he's 4K, I mean, he's going to be at least in the conversation. I don't even know if he's going to get to that 5th inning to give you a chance at the win, though. That's the problem. So it'll just be based on projections. I know it's kind of a cop-out, but it's still a decent implied total against here. 5 runs for the Blue Jays. Yeah. So not super appealing. It would just be to get to some really expensive bats, which there aren't really too many you need to pay for outside of a couple of these Red Sox on DraftKings on the early slate.
Speaking of bats, Yankees right now, 2nd in ownership on FanDuel, 1st on DraftKings. They are 8th on the Jays are 8th on FanDuel, 9th on DK. Is there anything that points you to wanting to be somewhere else other than the Yankees today? They are my number 2 stack.
Nah, yeah, they're going to be right up there for me. Wags back. He hasn't really been walking guys, but also
Cortez pitched last night.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go.
Not going to be Cortez.
Okay.
I saw that he threw on the 7th. I didn't look at the game logs. That was just like his most recent update. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off there, but
no, that's
YouTube
good.
Chat was mentioning it.
Yeah, I wasn't super interested, anyways, but
yeah,
now can't really do it. Yeah, I'm seeing the YouTube chat yelling at us. Thanks, guys. All right. Yeah, Yankees gonna be right up there. Wags back, nothing special. K rate under 19%. Yankees lineup, just the bottom of this order is just raking. Ford, Tauchman, Urshela.
You should have took Urshela.
I was gonna take Tauchman or Ford. I can't remember. They both donged. I was gonna take whoever was batting 8th last night, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
You missed out on the chance for the back-to-back Urshela double dongs.
Oh, I know. Yeah, on Thursday.
Told you to do it.
Told me to do it. Yeah, my fault. But yeah, the Yankees are gonna be once again right up there. Once again, a 6+ implied total here. And going against a pretty tough pitcher, or I guess a pretty bad pitcher, I should say. Yeah, nothing holding me back from them here.
Urshela up to 5,200 on DK. What a heater, man.
Yeah, the guy is nuts. I don't think he donged last night. Yeah, had a off game last night, just had a walk and was over 3, but the few games prior to that, just been on fire.
Yeah, I'm going to have a ton of Yankees. Like I said, they are my number 2 stack. I can't really get away from them, and I don't want to.
No, there's no reason to try to avoid them. I don't think we're going to see anything crazy from an ownership standpoint either.
No. Outside of Smoke, who I think is a little underpriced, I don't have a ton of interest in the Blue Jays. They're fine, I guess.
I don't either. I hate these bullpen games. Even fresh arms, even if they're not the greatest arms, and the Yankees have a good bullpen, but even when it's like an Orioles bullpen game, it's just like fresh guys coming in 2 to 3 innings. You're not seeing a guy multiple times. I just hate targeting those kind of games. So I probably won't be on too many Blue Jays here.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, Smoke, $3,800, $11 on Yahoo, $2,700 on FanDuel. I think that's a decent value for a 5-gamer.
Yep.
But ultimately, the Yankees are where I want to be.
We're seeing 3 guys in the Yankees lineup at 5% right now or under on DK.
Yeah.
So even if Torres and Judge and Gregorius and Sanchez are all popular, the rest of these guys aren't.
Yeah, just pay up a little bit more for Urshela to get a unique stack.
Yep.
Red Sox and Angels, 6.2 run implied total for the Red Sox, 5.3 for the Angels, 57% chance to win for Boston. Rick Porcello going for the Sox, Andrew Heaney going for the Angels. This one's going to be a scary one. Heaney is at 23% on DraftKings, 14 on FanDuel. Porcello, 10% on FanDuel, 26% on DK. I mean, given the two, I would rather have Heaney than Porcello, because one of those guys is going to strike people out and the other one isn't. The problem is it's the Boston lineup. How do you want to handle Porcello and Heaney here?
I kind of don't want either. I mean, if I could not have either, that would be that'd be fantastic. The question is, can you get to neither of them here if you're playing 150 lineups? I think I'm going to be below the field on especially Heaney. This is a really rough matchup for anyone going into Boston. 6 implied total. He's not going to grade out well when Alex's projections come out, so I won't be getting to him much.
I'm going to have a lot.
You're going to have a lot of Heaney?
I think so.
I mean, where's the upside or the floor in this matchup?
Oh, the floor is straight through the dirt, but the upside, I mean, the upside is there because he has stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, at the very least, he does strike people out, whereas I see no upside for Porcello.
Yeah, very limited upside for Porcello. The only reason you would get to him is just that the bottom of this Angels lineup isn't great, and he's got a decent shot at the win. But you still need him to limit damage for 7,500, and I'd rather just go to a better park and play Velasquez or try to somehow get up to Samardzija or even Alcantara at 6,500 in a better park.
Yeah.
So probably avoiding these pitchers, and I'm going to have a ton of bats on both sides, especially if Heaney's getting ownership, especially if Porcello's getting ownership as well. Heaney can miss bats for sure, but almost 1.8 home runs per 9 on the season. Give me all these Red Sox.
Yeah, it's Angels are my number one stack. They're most owned on FanDuel, second on DK. Red Sox are third for me on both sites, and they rank third in ownership. I'm just going to have a lot of this game. I won't have much Porcello, but I will have Heaney, and I will have Angels and Red Sox stacks. I think you just kind of have to have both. There's just not enough else out there. You know, it's when Mike Soroka is the most expensive pitcher, and then Samardzija is second. I think you got to take some chances.
Yeah, it is going to be difficult to find value at pitcher today. For this slate, at least.
Yeah. Oh, good God. I mean,
anytime you can get Porcello at 26% ownership in a terrible strikeout matchup with a 5 implied total against him, you just got to do it.
Okay, so I project strikeouts for every pitcher. What do you think the highest strikeout projection is for me today of all of these starters? Like, who do you think is the highest, and what do you think it is?
I would say it's either Velasquez or Turnbull.
Okay. It's Soroka.
Wow.
But 6.4, which is not a projection for strikeouts. Velasquez just doesn't go deep enough to get a really big one. Right. But I mean, when we have an ace on this slate, it's 9.6, 9.7. Meanwhile, Soroka, 6.4. At 42% ownership as the most expensive pitcher on the slate, and he probably deserves it.
Yeah, I think he's overpriced for sure, but given the context of the slate and the pricing elsewhere on bats, I think you're going to be able to fit in some Soroka, even though it's pretty gross.
So do you prefer the Red Sox or the Angels in this one?
Red Sox.
Okay. I prefer the Angels. But
the Angels are going to be up there for me too, for sure.
Yeah, it's not. I don't want it to come off like it's some firm stance. They're first and third.
Yeah.
Porcello just gives up so much power to lefties. So, Ohtani, Calhoun looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All the ownership going to those first four of Angels. So, who's your favorite bat in this game?
Mookie Betts. 4,900 is crazy.
Yeah, that is 4,900 for JD as well.
Yeah.
Craziness. I think you would change your answer once I say this out loud. Mookie Betts projected 30% ownership on DraftKings. JD Martinez, 9%. Oh, we got a goal.
Weird.
Bournemouth goal.
Who scored?
No one you have. Well, actually, given your lineups, maybe.
Yeah. Well, you mean my lineup, my dummy train that's in there.
Whoever's the guy that scored, I don't have any of.
Okay.
Not exactly a guy you would expect to be scoring.
Well, good. At least I wouldn't have banked the slate then, because I probably don't have him either.
I'm guessing it was maybe all I have is the alert. I'm guessing it was probably a header on a corner because he's a defensive guy.
All right. Well, good. I hope some bad players score and not the players that were going to be in my lineups.
Soccer chat going nuts now. There it is. Where were you on him? Asking Tristan. His shots per game is less than 0.1 in his career.
Wow. He was due.
JD at 9% compared to 30 is the play, but not like Mookie Betts is some problematic choice.
No.
Like you need to have this game. There's too much talent here. And with pitching the way that it is, it's not even difficult to pay up for the guys that are expensive, like Devers or Bogarts or even Trout.
Right. So, Brent in YouTube chat, is that spreadsheet available to subscribers or just their own personal one? This is Josh's personal one that you're seeing on the screen.
Ooh, another goal. Brighton.
Don't know who that is.
That's the team.
Very good.
I think we could probably move on here.
Yeah, I think that's probably good.
It looks like Brighton's goal was off of a sub, so that's fantastic. This is going great. Fun sweat so far.
Yeah.
3 goals. One's an own goal, one by a defenseman who doesn't shoot, and the third by a sub. Incredible. All right, let's keep going. Giants and Phillies. 4.3 runs across the board. Coin flip game. Jeff Samardzija, Vince Velasquez. Jeff Samardzija turning back the clock. 10% ownership on DK, 8 on FanDuel. He's 9,200 on DraftKings. Meanwhile, Velasquez getting big time ownership. 7,500 on FanDuel, 20% owned. 7,400 on DK, where he is 41% owned. It's looking like Soroka Velasquez is going to be the most popular combo. How do you feel about this? What do you want to do with Velasquez if he's in 40% of the lineups?
Yeah, it's not pretty, but one of the better strikeout percentages on the slate, 26%. He's actually been fine. He's going to walk guys. He's going to give up quality contact. Home runs are going to be an issue, but not in this park. So I understand the ownership here for Velasquez. I'm probably going to be right there. I would think maybe even a little bit over the field once I start crunching, just depending on where Turnbull comes in for us. I think his projection is going to really matter a lot for me, but I do like Velasquez quite a bit. I like almost anyone in this park, even when these guys are a little bit priced up. I wonder if I'm going to get to Samardzija too. I like him a little bit as a pivot off of Soroka. Where's Samardzija's ownership right now?
He's at just 10%, third lowest.
Yeah.
Only guy he literally has the lowest lowest ownership because no one's playing Wags back, and the only other guy is Chad Green.
Yeah, I think that's he's clearly overpriced, probably like 1,500 to 2K overpriced on DK, but so is Soroka. Like Soroka's hasn't shown much K upside at all. He's just a better real life pitcher, of course, but I think I'm going to get to well over 10% of Samardzija here.
I think that I'll have more than 10% as well. And I'm figuring that I end up under on Velasquez, but not by like any crazy amount.
Right.
More like, 30 or something.
Yeah.
Phillies bats are 9th in ownership on FanDuel, 7th on DraftKings. Giants are 6th on FanDuel, 6th on DraftKings. I like the Phillies more than I like the Giants, that's for sure. Do you anticipate getting to either team with any volume?
No, I don't think so. I'll for sure get to some Brandon Bell and probably Posey, like Giants minis because of the ownership going to Velasquez, but I probably won't get to too many Phillies in this park, especially when Samardzija's not getting much ownership.
Yeah, more individual bats. Harper, Dickerson. It's just such a tough park, though. It's a tough sell. Although, didn't seem to matter for Bryce Harper yesterday.
Right.
Any Giants bats that stand out for you?
Let me see here. I mean, just Belt, and I'm guessing Posey will have projected pretty well. If Scooter's in the lineup, 3,100, that's a nice value. He's probably going to be pretty heavily owned, though.
13% right now on DraftKings. He's flat minimum on Yahoo, so if you're playing Yahoo with the early slate, he's only $7. I like that a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else here. This game's ugly.
It is pretty ugly.
Plus, this is just a quick walkthrough early. Tigers and Royals. 5-run implied total for the Tigers. 4.5 for the Royals. 55% chance to win for Detroit. Spencer Turnbull going for the Tigers. Mike Montgomery for the Royals. Both guys at 19% ownership on DraftKings. Turnbull at 10 on FanDuel, while Montgomery gets no love. I think we both prefer Turnbull to Montgomery, but what do you think of him at 8K?
I'm going to get to him a lot. The question is he going to be on a pitch count? We're getting some questions in chat. And let's see what he threw last game. He threw 76 last game. Even at 76, a guy who can get strikeouts against KC. I think as long as he can go like 80 plus pitches.
I gave him 5 innings.
Yeah, I'm playing a lot of Turnbull, I think.
Okay.
Not a terrible strikeout matchup. He's a favorite. And he's just one of the better pitchers on the slate, honestly. Just strikeouts per dollar wise. So, yeah, I'll get to some Turnbull for sure.
I'll probably have more Heaney on the off chance that he's just spinning it today, but
fair enough.
Ownership will tell a big story. You're playing the early, I'm sure, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Going to be a big day today.
Yeah.
Any interest in Montgomery? Because I have 0. If he's really 19% owned on DraftKings, I will comfortably come in at none.
I don't think Montgomery is a terrible pitcher. Just the strikeouts. It's really tough to imagine him getting 7 strikeouts again, like what he did last start against Boston, no less. So, yes, I'm going to get to some Montgomery. I don't think I'm going to get to over, did you say 13%?
19.
Yeah, 19. Okay, yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to 19 or 20%.
Yeah. I think I hope that stays there, though. I'd be happy for that to not go anywhere. Tigers are 4th in ownership on FanDuel, 5th on DraftKings, 7th and 4th for the Royals, respectively. They are the 7th and 8th ranked teams for me. This is just not a spot where I'm going to get offense. Although if Mike Montgomery maintains ownership, I'll probably have some Tigers, which is disgusting.
Yeah.
I hate them. I hate them so much.
Yeah, they're going to come in way over-owned on the top stack tool, which we have now for all slates. Yeah. But Hicks really sticks out as a good value. And then if Jacoby Jones is in the lineup leading off, I guess that's also fine. But they're just priced down. Point per dollar, they're going to grade out well.
Yeah.
And I usually get way less of teams like this.
I hope that I do. What about the Royals? Anybody standing out? Ryan O'Hearn for 2,900.
Ugh, this guy can't even make contact with the ball. But yeah, he's 2,900, so he's got to be at least considered. He's just going to be owned again, which I hate. I'd rather go to like Merrifield and Dozier and Gordon at the top.
Love Merrifield. Love Gordon. I like Soler. 4,600 is a little more than I'd like to spend, but he's not getting any ownership, so I'm not mad about it.
Yeah. I mean, just really solid pricing on both sides, but that's going to drive ownership up when people are paying up for Soroka.
I don't have anything else here. This game's gross.
Yeah, it is.
Just be on the opposite side of Montgomery if he gets ownership.
Yeah, that's probably a good call. Do you need to do soccer projections now?
Let's find out. Nope, still no expected lineups.
All right, I'll be right back then. You want to introduce the next game?
Sure. Marlins and Braves. 3.2 run implied total for the Marlins, 4.8 for the Braves, 68% chance to win for Atlanta. Sandy Alcantara, who is going to be pronounced like that since Adam is not on the show, going for the Marlins. Mike Soroka going for the Braves. Soroka, 33% expected ownership on FanDuel, the clear chalk play, also the most expensive. 42% expected on DraftKings, also the highest owned guy and the most expensive. I mean, this should come as no surprise to anyone. Miami is one of the worst hitting teams in baseball. Soroka is a very, very good real-life pitcher. Maybe not the best DFS pitcher, but to get 7 out of 9 righties in the most likely scenario in one of, if not the best pitcher's park in baseball, hard to avoid him. He should be a mainstay in cash lineups. In GPPs, I think that you can get a little weird, but I mean, I don't think that 40% is all that crazy. I assume that I have somewhere in that neighborhood. I want to. He's not the type of guy that I expect to have like really monster games, so he's not someone that I want to go crazy over the field on. But I can't see a scenario where I'm not matching the field. As for Alcantara, 6,500 on DraftKings. I like him better than anything else below Velasquez, so I think that he'll be someone I lean to a little bit. The Braves matchup is tough, but the park just helps. Jake, what do you think of Soroka?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to where the field's at on Soroka.
Yo, no Erickson.
No Erickson?
Not that you care, but
yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter for me. I don't have any of them because I once again forgot to put in my CSV, but that would have been brutal for me actually.
I have. You ready for this? 91%.
Wow. How many lineups did you do?
89.
Oh, okay. Just across different contests?
Yeah.
How many in the 8 did you put in there?
20 maybe?
Nice.
At least the rake has already been paid in that contest.
Yeah, that's true. I hear there's some fish in there.
All right, so you got to hit on this game while I update.
All right. So Soroka, he is not a great strikeout arm, but you're getting a phenomenal strikeout matchup. Soroka is, I think, going to be a good pitcher. He's young. He's shown the ability to go deep into games as well, but you're just never seeing the gaudy strikeout numbers you would like for 10-4. That being said, it is a phenomenal park. It is the Marlins. They are garbage against righties. And you're looking for 6-7 innings out of Soroka with a few strikeouts, which I think is a pretty attainable game here. Probably not going to grade out as a good value, but when you've got all these value stacks all over the board, it's not going to matter that much. So I just worry that Soroka is a little bit over-owned here, but like even if I'm going underweight here, it's not like I'm going to get 10% of a 40% owned pitcher here. I think he does make sense on DraftKings. On FanDuel, he's 9K. That's a little bit easier to handle as well because I think there's a good chance he gets you a quality start and a win. And there's just not a lot of great options on FanDuel that can go deep. He's like the one pitcher on this slate, I think, that can go pretty deep. On the other side, Alcantara, I actually have some interest on two pitcher sites. It's just a more so a park thing. I think Alcantara is a pretty good pitcher, like a decent real life pitcher, I should say. Even though he doesn't get a lot of strikeouts, he's 6,500 with a team going against him with the below 5 implied total, and you kind of need that on the slate. So, yeah, I'm kind of right there with Alcantara hitting in this game. If I was going to a team, it would be the Braves. I don't think even if I'm not playing Soroka, like I wouldn't be trying to go crazy with Marlins bats either. This is a AAA team, even for the Marlins. Brinson back in the lineup, another high K guy. You've got Alfaro in the lineup, another high K guy, and then just a boatload of righties. Man, I get the Soroka ownership. I don't think I'll quite be there at 40%.
Okay. This is brutal, man.
It is not good.
The worst part of all of this is, and I want to make sure that this gets said very specifically, DraftKings late swap is garbage and trash, and it's a stain on the industry. To not be able to swap into a guy that's more expensive,
it's crazy,
is one of the stupidest things that anyone can do. Just need to get that in there right now. If you want, you're welcome to transition to the main slate.
Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. 10-game slate. A little bit better pitching options, not by much though, honestly. Pricing's pretty tough if you're looking at DraftKings. Of course, you're going to find some really good value over on Yahoo, hitting and pitching. Let's start out with so Adam, I don't know if you saw his message in the premium Slack, but when you get a second, you should look at that. He is pretty heavy on Aaron Sanchez, and
well, yeah, anybody that plays for the Astros, Adam likes.
I mean, have they ever like gotten a guy and it hasn't worked out in the last 3 or 4 years? A pitcher like Garrett Cole, he was solid in Pittsburgh, but super inconsistent. Now he is the best strikeout pitcher in the MLB, arguably. And so now we've got Aaron Sanchez. First start with the Astros. Of course, he goes out there and or no, he's had 2 starts with the Astros. Yes, 48.
No, it should just be 1, right?
Tampa and Seattle. Either way.
Okay.
He played against Tampa and Seattle's last 2. He's had 3 straight really solid starts, and now he's with Houston as a minus 262 favorite. Don't have to worry about pitch count. He's $6,900. He's had strikeout upside in the past, but he's kind of a guy that you can't really figure out. So projection systems probably haven't caught up to Sanchez, possibly working on some stuff. And you're going to get him right now at 4% ownership. So he's going to be a guy I'm going to have a ton of if he sticks at 4%, or even if he's at like 10 or 15. I'm still going to be very much over the field on that in this matchup against Baltimore. I don't see anything wrong with Sanchez, his ownership, the matchup, anything. So I am just all over Sanchez. And then, of course, Houston bats against Aaron Brooks.
Gotcha.
Who is not a good pitcher. Just give me everything Houston in this game.
Keep it moving. I've got no ability to help you right now.
All right. Do you want to? All right. We'll just go
in
back.
The future. Not going to be able to do this show.
On Saturdays?
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right. So that's really all I got in that game. Probably no Baltimore hitters. Cleveland and Minnesota. We've got Adam Plutko and Jake Odorizzi. Plutko at 6,100, Odorizzi 8,800. This game actually does have some weather concerns. It's a pretty rainy day here in the Minneapolis area. But assuming this one goes, I think you've got a pretty good opportunity for some Twins bats. A couple of these guys are really nice value. Arias, although he's not a great power hitter, he's pretty decent in stacks, especially when he's got dual position eligibility. He's 4K on DraftKings. Marwin Gonzalez at 3,300, dual position eligibility as well on DraftKings. Twins are one of my favorite stacks on this slate. Probably not up to where the Astros are. But if you're playing on Yahoo, it is incredibly difficult to get to the Astros, as Alex and I talked about yesterday on our Yahoo specific show. They're all priced over. Their top 7 guys are $22 or more, with Yuli Gurriel being $27 expected to hit 7th. So you're probably going to have to look elsewhere as far as full stacks on Yahoo. I think the Twins are a really good option. Jorge Polanco sticks out as one of the best cash options on Yahoo as well at $15. And I just absolutely love the stack against Adam Plutko here. The one downfall is the weather isn't perfect. I mentioned the possibility of rain, but it's also going to be only around 70 degrees, a little bit of wind blowing in. So that mitigates what is usually a pretty nice hitter's park. But even still, you're seeing the Twins with almost a 6 implied total. Kind of tells you everything you need to know. And then Odorizzi going to face a lot of lefties here. I'm not sure that's a terrible thing. He's more in play on Yahoo at $36. On DraftKings, he is 8,800. A lot tougher to play him over there. So I'm kind of off of him on DraftKings. And then for whatever reason, Lindor's price is only 4,800. Really like him. And then Jose Ramirez, who's starting to hit recently, 4,300. Two nice values over there. Anything?
I'm like 10 seconds away.
All right,
by
cool.
10 seconds, I mean like a minute and a half.
All right. I will transition into the next game then.
Perfect. Thanks, man.
Texas and Milwaukee. We've got Pedro Payano going up against Alex Baker's favorite guy, Adrian Hauser. This guy has buried us quite a few times in the last few weeks when he started, except for the last start. 5 innings, 5 Ks. But that's really what you're looking for $4,900. I wonder why he's only 4,900 actually, now that I look at it a little bit more. He pitched 6 days ago, so he's fully rested. Massive favorite, minus 200 right now at home against Texas, who strikes out quite a bit. They're throwing out guys like Forsythe, DeShields, and Mathis, plus the pitcher spot as well. I would imagine Payano is not a good hitting pitcher either. So extra bump here for Hauser. He's $4,900, and there are almost always some expensive bats to pay up for. So I'll be playing a lot of Hauser, I'm sure. Looking at his ownership right now, he is – oh, no, he's not in the ownership projections right now unless I'm looking at the early slate. Oh, that's because I didn't refresh. So let me refresh this quick and see where Hauser's at. He's at 20% right now. So that makes sense. $4,900 pitcher that is stretched out. I mean, hard to argue against that. But I probably won't be on too many Texas bats outside of Mazzara at 4,600, who I really like there. And then Yelich possibly expected to be back in this game against Payano. He really sticks out. $5,900. If Trent Grisham leads off at $3,300, that's also a really nice cash option on DraftKings. And then I think I like the Twins a little bit more than Milwaukee at this point, but they're both going to be in the upper tier for me.
I prefer the Twins as well.
Yeah.
I'm almost here. I'm adding ownership into the sheet, and then I'm good to go.
Cool. Yeah, the Milwaukee, you're going to see some decent ownership on all these guys, really. But, Thames, Moustakis, and then Grisham, especially Grandal, $4,100, no problem paying that. So Milwaukee, I would expect to be one of the chalkier stacks on the slate.
They're chalk on DraftKings.
Yeah. Are they the number one?
They are.
Okay, yeah, Grisham at 30% is going to bring them up.
By a mile. The next closest team is 4% away in the aggregate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they've got 3 guys above 15% or 4 guys above 15% right now on DK.
Yeah, the Grisham one is certainly swinging it a bit, but other than that, God, this is such a pain in the ass.
No, I can keep going.
I'm good. Like, I've made my swaps and my lineups are live now, but I'd like to put more Harry Kane in with the thousands of dollars I have of extra money, but to do that would mean, I need late Swaptimizer or for DraftKings to not be rude.
You can do that. Have you tried with XL?
I mean, sure. I know that I can do that if I'm not doing this.
All right. Well,
it's fine.
Hauser also is $28 on Yahoo. When the cheat sheets come out, you can expect to see quite a bit of Adrian Hauser.
You big on Hauser today?
What's that?
You big on Hauser today?
Yeah, man. Alex always has him grading out well as a value. He's always like 5K. And yeah, I think he's a okay pitcher. And that's enough for me. 24% K rate for Hauser on the season. Giving up some power, 1.4 home runs per 9, a 140 whip. He's kind of frustrating to watch. I've actually seen him pitch a couple times, and I hate watching him. But in this spot, being this big of a favorite and $28 on Yahoo, 49 on DK, I don't really see a reason to get around that. So,
all right, which games have you hit so far?
Houston, Baltimore, Cleveland, Minnesota, Texas, Milwaukee. Anything jumping out to you in those games?
Let me hit them quick. I'll pull them up on my screen. For the Orioles and Astros, I don't get the sense that I'll have much on the pitching side. I hate the Orioles, and the Astros are my number one stack. Give me anybody in that lineup. I'm cool with it. You said Brewers and Rangers. Brewers are my number 5 stack. I will likely get less than the field based on this right now. Not that I don't like them. Clearly, great park, great prices on everybody but Yelich. Not that his is wrong. Give me whatever Brewers bats. Rangers, I'm relatively neutral on. I do like Hauser quite a bit, particularly at 4,900. And then Twins, Indians, no Plutko for me, no Odorizzi for me. Twins are my number 2 stack, so I'm going to have quite a bit of those guys, especially on DraftKings where they're a little bit less owned. Indians are 4 for me. They're 8th on DK, 7th on FanDuel, so I will probably be over the field on the Indians against Odorizzi.
Yeah, so a lot of good hitting options in these first few games, I think. And I think Milwaukee's probably going to come in a little over-owned, whereas the Twins might come in a little over-owned or under-owned. And Astros for sure going to be under-owned when you look at the top stack tool because they're expensive. So really nice options here.
I think that's probably it. I'm ready to just take over now.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Mets and Nationals. I've got 3.9 runs for the Mets, 3.7 for the Nats, and a 52% chance to win for New York. Noah Syndergaard going for the Mets. Pat Corbin going for the Nats. Syndergaard and Corbin have basically the same ownership across all 3 sites except for FanDuel. Syndergaard only at 8, where he's very expensive. Corbin at 21, where he's only 9,800. But these guys are at just north of 40 on Yahoo, just north of 20 on DK. Do you have a preference between Syndergaard and Corbin?
Not really. I don't see myself getting to really either of these guys today. Like, they're both good pitchers. I think I'm more likely to get to Corbin, but man, do they have favorable Yahoo prices? 45 for Corbin and 42 for Syndergaard are actually both pretty nice. I like Corbin over on Yahoo at that price quite a bit. Just a little bit better of a strikeout pitcher. I don't really care all that much about the righty-heavy lineup for these Mets. If you got Panic, Nito, and Lagares plus the pitcher spot at the bottom, there's going to be strikeouts here for Corbin. Just really difficult for me to get there at 11-2 on DK. So this game I kind of don't have much interest in at all.
I don't disagree.
Besides Trey Turner against Syndergaard. Absolutely love that. Maybe Turner and Eaton, you could do a 2-man stack just because Syndergaard struggles to hold runners. Struggles as being nice, actually. Turner's going to run all over him at 4,400.
So I'm probably going to have similar amounts of both pitchers. Syndergaard grades out a little bit better. I assume that he'll also have a lower projection from Alex when it comes out. Good like strikeout K minus BB guys I tend to have a little bit higher. So I'm expecting Syndergaard to come down a little bit for me. But I want to have both of these guys. And from a hitting perspective, I probably won't have much of anything on either side. These are the 13th and 19th ranked teams for me. Neither team getting any ownership. So it's just pitching. And I don't really have a preference. I mean, these guys are razor close. I have them separated by 0.4 of a point on DraftKings. So it's a coin flip for me. I like them both. I would rather pay up for Morton.
Yeah, I would pay up for Morton for sure. Morton just got a better matchup. I think Morton is the best option in the slate. So, I don't see the need to get to these guys on DK. Syndergaard has allowed 26 stolen bases this season.
Really?
Just so bad. Yeah, he's got games, like tons of games with 2+ stolen bases. He got a game with 5 stolen bases against, and he cannot hold runners to save his life. So Turner especially, but maybe I should be looking more at a national stack here, just because stolen bases get undervalued all the time.
I mean, Turner is the only guy that grades out well for me from the Nats, but he grades out well for me every day. So that's it. I just don't want any offense here. I think we can keep it moving.
Yeah, we can go.
Reds and Cubs, 4.3 run implied total for the Reds and the Cubs. It's a coin flip game. Sonny Gray going for the Reds. Kyle Hendricks going for the Cubs. Sonny Gray, 8,600. Not going to be enough for one Adam. Ship my money share. But what are you going to do? 20% ownership going to Sonny Gray on the 2-pitcher sites. Just 5% on FanDuel. Single digits going to Kyle Hendricks. I'm going to get a lot of Sonny Gray, I think, but I'm terrified of it. So thanks a lot, Adam.
Yeah, I like Sonny Gray a lot here against the Cubs. Not a perfect matchup or anything, especially with Castellanos in there. Just adds another good bat. But only a 4.2 implied total. He's a slight favorite, and he's just a big discount off of all these other top-end arms. You just look at strikeout percentage compared to price. Gray is a really, really nice option. Basically the same K rate as Corbin, higher than Syndergaard, higher than, basically anyone, Odorizzi as well. So Paddock, and he's priced lower than all these guys. So just that alone gets me interested in Gray, and not interested in Hendricks at that price in this park. Not a chance.
I'm with you there. I can't do Kyle Hendricks. Reds are 10th in ownership on DK, 11th on FanDuel. Cubs are 9th and 14th. I think that both of those rankings look pretty reasonable. I don't have any bats that like super stand out. I think Votto for $10 on Yahoo is kind of that. Cubs stack looks okay on FanDuel, but I don't know. I'm not favoring offense here. What do you think?
Yeah, no. Hendricks is a guy, we always talk about it. Like, I just hate when he pitches, because it kind of just wipes that matchup off the slate for me. He's going to get blown up every once in a while, but not very often. You've got some cheap hitters against him, and that might push the Reds' ownership up. I haven't looked at them in the ownership projections yet, but Votto's 38. Suarez just 42, and then everyone else is cheap. So it's fine if you want to take a couple batters against Hendricks, but they're not like even my favorite value team on the slate.
Yeah, these guys will come in as like individual one-offs for the matchups, but I have no interest in stacking these teams up with any sort of volume.
Yeah.
Like I said, middle of the pack stacks for me.
Yeah, I think I agree.
White Sox and A's, the last of the 7-10 starts. 4.2 run implied total for the White Sox, 5.3 for Oakland. 61% chance to win for the A's. Ronaldo Lopez going for the Sox. Tanner Roark going for the A's. No real ownership going to Lopez. Sometimes he gets it. Today's not that day, just 7%. Roark in the 8 to 12 range across all three sites. Is Tanner Roark an option for you against the White Sox? There's certainly some strikeouts to be found.
There are, but Roark just stinks.
Truth.
I mean, I don't really see getting to a ton of Roark. Average K rate 22.5%. He's fine. Like if you landed on a few shares of him against the White Sox, it's not like I would take him out or anything. Especially if there are some righties in the middle at the end of this White Sox order. But I don't know. I'd be fine not getting any Roark as well. Reynaldo Lopez, I don't think I'm going to get there. 7,200. We do have projections out now, so I want to take a quick look at where Alex has Lopez at.
Nice. Yeah, grab those.
Yeah, he's got him as a pretty bad value. Oakland, not a quality strikeout matchup. You do have Chris Davis in there at 3,600, so do with that what you will. Really, really, really like Matt Olson here at 4,300. Over on Yahoo, Olson is $15 as well. So that's the guy I'm going to have the most of, I think, in this game, outside of maybe Davis, who is also min salary on Yahoo.
36% expected ownership too. It's crazy, man. It's so crazy. Now, Oakland's my number 3 stack. They're 3rd or 4th in ownership, so I'm kind of right there with the field. I think everything looks about right. Just going to have a lot of, I mean, between the park and the matchup, it's really hard to not want to have a bunch of Oakland bats. There's too much power potential on this team. I mean, the whole lineup, basically, outside of Robbie Grossman.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly upset about taking $3,500 Robbie Grossman on DK.
I think they're going to be pretty healthily over-owned on DraftKings, just looking at their pricing.
Yeah.
But I think they're also going to be maybe the best value stack on this slate as well. So when that happens, I'm kind of torn when looking at the top stack tool. So maybe not a ton of full Oakland 5-mans for me, but the value is tough to avoid.
And I don't have any interest in White Sox bats.
Nope. I mean, no Moncada makes this lineup so much worse.
Already pretty bad.
Yep.
All right, to the only 7:15 start. Cardinals and Pirates. 5 runs for the Cards, 4 for the Pirates. 60-40 game. Adam Wainwright going for St. Louis. Joe Musgrove for the Pirates. Musgrove got to 12% ownership on DK. Nothing else above 5% for any site and either arm. I don't really care too much about either guy, but just given the way that salaries look, if I don't have Hauser at 4,900, I think Musgrove looks like the best option to pay down with.
Yeah, I wrote up Musgrove. Didn't know Hauser was going to be on the slate when I started writing spotlight pitchers. Otherwise, I probably would have wrote up Hauser. Musgrove a little bit less obvious of a value, but still an okay one. And you look at where the Cardinals are at versus righties, just like a below average team, 90 WRC plus, 23% K rate on their active roster. It's not like they walk a ton or anything like that. And I just think Musgrove he's a fine pitcher. Like I'm not, crazy about playing a ton of Musgrove, but if he's only going to be 12% and you've got a volatile Hauser at 20, if that gap starts to widen a little bit, I'll move a little bit more exposure over to Joe Musgrove. I think it's a fine matchup despite the 5.1 implied total against. And then Wainwright, yikes. 78.
I hate Wainwright.
Yeah, me too. Tough strikeout matchup. He's been good. There's no getting around that, but it's just a bad K matchup against Pittsburgh here. Second lowest K rate on the season for their active roster, 17.7% for Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is 18th for me out of all 20 teams. The Cardinals are 15th. I am not going to be finding much offense in this spot. Am I crazy? Am I missing anything?
No. Josh Bell, 4,200. But that's going to show up in projections regardless. I think he's actually really cheap on Yahoo too. Yeah, $12. So he's one guy that sticks out. The rest of them, Frazier's $8 on Yahoo. If he's leading off, that's fine, but not a game I'm going to be heavily exposed to unless Musgrove's ownership drops just a little bit.
Frazier at 10% ownership on DraftKings, 12% on FanDuel. That is the only Only guy on either team on any site north of 10%. So,
Yeah.
good job holding that laugh in, by the way.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I laughed pretty hard. That's why I pasted it too. 3 games to go. Padres and Rockies. This one we should be talking about a little bit. 4.8 run implied total for the Pods, 3.6 for the Rocks. 64% chance to win for San Diego. Chris Paddock going for the Padres. Chichi Gonzalez going for the Rockies. So Paddock, 16% ownership on Yahoo, 12 on FanDuel, 13 on DraftKings. He's got the lowest ownership of everybody above 9K. I really like Chris Paddock if he's only at 13% ownership. Am I crazy here? The Rockies are bad.
They are bad, and I wrote up Paddock as well. I was assuming he was going to be basically the chalkiest pitcher in the slate, at least on some sites. So right now he's $47 on Yahoo. That is a really, really favorable price there. He's the one thing about Paddock is he doesn't go super deep into games, so he's not going to grade out as a great value on DraftKings. But I still think he's a guy you should be looking at for sure in tournaments and maybe cash games on a site like Yahoo. So really good matchup here. Minus 205 favorite. It's not like you can't go 5 innings and get the win.
Yeah.
But you're probably not going to get the 7 innings that you might get out of a guy like Morton or Corbin if things go well, or even like Sonny Gray. So that's the only thing.
Yeah, I can just say right now for sure I'm going to have more than 13% Chris Paddock. I will probably just I'll probably sacrifice the Corbin ownership if I had to guess.
Oh, I'm much more likely to get to way over the field on Paddock than Corbin or Syndergaard, I think, at least on DraftKings.
The amount of Hauser that I get will really dictate how much I get of Paddock, because there will be a direct relationship between Hauser and Morton. So
yeah. So if
I don't get a lot of Morton, then I'm certainly going to get a lot of Paddock.
Yeah. So if I'm going to like top tier pitching, it's going to be Morton. So those other 2 guys in the 10K plus range are going to get squeezed out for me. And then I'm probably going to have a bunch of teams that start Paddock, Hauser. I'll get to Paddock, Maeda, I'm sure. Gray, Hauser, all that kind of stuff.
Padres bats are 5th in ownership on FanDuel, 7th on DraftKings. Rockies are 18th and 20th. I tend to overrate the Rockies just because of the top of their lineup. So I'm going to have a little bit of the Blackman, Story, Arenado trio. They are unowned, so I'm not super upset about that. Getting those guys as like one-offs, 2-mans, or 3-mans are, fine by me. What do you want to do with the Padres? Because I think they're a little overowned.
They are a little overowned, I think. Man, they are really nice values on Yahoo. Myers 10, Hosmer 13, Mejia 10, Hunter Renfroe, Emax Boy 10. He'd probably have 100% over on Yahoo. It's just like, it's a fine spot. I don't think I'm going to get to a ton of them. I think there's just better value in Oakland.
Yeah, I agree. Look, they're my 10th ranked team. They're one of the bigger negatives for me in terms of my rank compared to our ownership. So I will be under the field on the Pods here.
I think I will be too.
Favorite bat in this game? I think that's an interesting question.
I think Machado. At 44. Who's yours?
Probably. It's hard for me to disagree there. I really like Will Myers. Oh my God, I can't talk. Will Myers at 39. For under 4K, I think that's kind of appealing here. Not like I'm worried about Chichi Gonzalez shutting anybody down. So yeah, I'll take the savings on Myers.
Not at all. I might be talking about some Chichi if Adrian Hauser didn't exist here, but got Hauser, so no need to get to $5,500 Chichi.
No Chichi for me.
Yeah, don't blame you.
Dodgers and Diamondbacks, 4.8 run implied total for the Dodgers, 3.7 for the D-backs. 62% chance to win for LA. Kenta Maeda going for the Dodgers. Alex Young going for the Diamondbacks. No ownership on Young, no interest in Young. Maeda, 17% on Yahoo, 21% on FanDuel, where he's $6,700. That's a mistake. 7,500 for him on DK, 35% expected ownership. We are talking about the chalk on DraftKings and kind of the chalk on FanDuel. How do you want to manage Maeda here against the D-backs?
I don't get the 35% ownership here.
Should be higher, right?
It seems really high for a guy that hasn't gone past 4 1/3 since 4 weeks ago, July 12th. He has not gone past 4 1/3. So he's had like bullpen starts or bullpen appearances. It looks like at least a couple, but he has gone 92 and 95 pitches in the last 3 weeks. So 61 on the 4th.
What does Alex have him projected at?
He's got him at a really favorable projection at 75. Let's see. He's got him projected for 17.2. One of the best pitcher values.
Okay.
On the slate.
Yeah.
So that makes it difficult to get around that ownership, but I'd probably have less of Maeda and just be paying way down for Hauser or someone like that. It makes Sonny Gray a really nice pivot on DraftKings.
It really does. I like Maeda quite a bit. I'll probably have in the 20s to low 30s. I would be surprised if I didn't, unless I saw something specific about him not going deep. But I like it here.
Also makes Aaron Sanchez a really nice pivot.
Yeah, only if you're Adam.
I think I'm with Adam on that. There's something about the Astros.
Oh, I don't disagree with that take. Not at all. Diamondbacks are 19th in ownership on FanDuel, 17th on DraftKings. They are not really a play for me today. One of the lower implied totals, just not a great lineup to begin with. Dodgers are 12th in ownership on FanDuel and 6th on DraftKings, and I have them 9th. What has happened to the Dodgers? Because I don't really care to get them as a stack.
Yeah, I mean, Will Smith batting 3rd, Negron and batting 5th will do that, and Tyler White, who's been awful all season. So now you're looking at a bunch of lefties, Muncy, Seager, Bellinger against the lefty, and it just becomes not super appealing. So for sure going to get to some Bellinger at 5,500, basically always as a one-off. And it's not like there's a ton of expensive bats to pay up for today.
No.
Like you've got Houston, you've got a couple expensive guys in Minnesota, and then basically Yelich. But outside of that, there's not like a really expensive stack. So, Bellinger is a guy that I really like. Pollock is an obvious value leading off versus a lefty at 3,800. But why not bat Muncy 2nd like they were earlier in the season? It's not like he's been bad.
I know. I mean, you got to make sure that you get Christopher Negron ahead of Max Muncy,
It's so weird.
So stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. So you've come around on Muncy. I mean, that this guy is an awesome hitter. So
I think he's an above average player.
There we go. How far you've come.
I think he's like the 4th best hitter on the team, maybe. I don't know.
like D'Angelo Russell.
I mean, I'd take Bellinger, Turner, and Seager probably.
I wouldn't take Seager. I would understand Bellinger and Turner. I mean, I think I agree with Bellinger and Turner.
Okay. I'll get a couple shares of these guys as one-offs, but I'm just not interested as a stack.
Yeah. It's just like, meh. I don't think Young is any good, but it's not like an elite ballpark or anything. You're getting a lot of lefty for the hitters you actually want to take. Yeah.
Final game, Mariners and Rays. 4.1 run implied total for the Mariners, 4.9 for the Rays. 59% chance to win for Tampa. Tommy Malone for the Mariners, from what I've seen. They didn't have a starter earlier. Confirmed?
I saw Tommy Malone yesterday.
Okay.
You finally have a run total for this game? So we should get that reflected in the rankings shortly. Right now, we don't have Morton.
What is the run total? Have you seen it?
It is 5.2 for the Rays, 3.4 for Seattle.
Okay, so the Rays are even bigger favorites than that.
Yeah.
Because I had 4.9, 4.1, so it's a little bit wider than that. But Tommy Milone, Charlie Morton 35% owned on Yahoo, 9% on FanDuel at 11K, and 16 on DraftKings. I think it's pretty clear that Morton is the best pitcher on this slate, but that price tag is really tough to get to. The problem is Seattle just can't stop striking out.
Yep. Morton's my favorite guy on the slate.
Yeah.
Just looking at it in a non-super mathematical way, like just the best. I mean, I guess mathematical, but the best K rate. He's just an elite strikeout pitcher in a good strikeout matchup. What's not to like? Good park as well. It's just the price tag. So he's the guy I prefer to pay up for if I can. Do we have him in the ownership projections?
Morton?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where's he at?
16.
Oh, yeah. Give me some of that then. I would much rather have 12K Morton than 11-2 Corbin if Corbin's going to be higher owned.
Yeah, I would prefer Morton to Corbin. The Paddock one gets interesting. $2,300 less. Same ownership. I think the Paddock will get my ownership before Morton does.
Oh, man. I like Morton. I'm hoping to see a big number when he gets put in the projections here.
Any interest in Tommy Milone?
I think I don't have his price in front of me because technically
8K.
Nope.
You good now?
Yeah, I thought it was like 67. I was going to say maybe, but nah.
I have the Mariners grading out dead last on this slate as an offense, so I have no interest whatsoever. Rays are 6th in ownership on FanDuel, tied for 4th on DraftKings. I have them number 6. Happy to get some Rays. They are pretty cost efficient. Nothing expensive here at all.
I think Fam's a fantastic play at 4K.
Yeah.
As great as Malone.
$3,500 Choi. $3,300 Jesus Aguilar.
Yeah, looking at their prices on Yahoo too. Meadows is now shot up to $21 after being min-salary for 2 weeks straight. Fam at 15 again. Jesus Aguilar $7. A lot of good value on Tampa here.
Yeah, I like filling out lineups with Tampa. I might not get a ton of 5-man stacks, but I think they are going to be like the premier filler for me.
Yeah. They're going to be up there. Like I prefer them. I don't prefer them over Oakland, but I think over Cincinnati for sure. And I think over San Diego as well.
5 games up on the early, 5 games down, 10 up on the late, 10 games down. We just hit everything.
Yeah, man. Let's do it again later.
In an hour and 8 minutes. You cannot beat it. Jake and I will be back later tonight, 6 p.m., live before lock, going through this all once again. Early slate locks at 3 and, probably a couple minutes or something, but I think it's 3 o'clock, right?
3:07 Eastern.
Perfect. 3:07 Eastern. So make sure you're paying attention for that. Check out Spotlight Hitters Pitcher Stacks. Shout out to Yahoo for being our presenting sponsor. If you go to EMAX Spotlight Hitters article, there will be some information for you on signing up at Yahoo using the promo code AWESOMO, which will get you up to $30 in Yahoo Sports Rewards points. Our promo code, MLB Strategy, one big word. If you want to get a 50% off your first month of Awesemo Plus, head to awesemo.com/join. Enter the promo code MLB Strategy when signing up. Jake, anything else?
Cheat sheets will be out in, I'd say, by time you're listening to this on podcast for sure. I'll have those up shortly for the main slate. And don't forget to upload your CSVs when you make your lineups.
There you go. Best of luck, everybody. Good luck on the early in particular. We'll talk to you again later.